أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله يعلم إنك لرسوله والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون. ذلك بأنهم آمنوا ثم كفروا فتبع على قلوبهم فهم لا يفقهون. وإذا رأيتهم تعجبك أجسامهم وإن يقولوا تسمع لقولهم كأنهم خشب مسندة يحسبون كل صيحة عليهم هم العدو فاحذرهم قاتلهم الله أنى يؤفكون. وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا يستغفر لكم رسول الله لووا رؤوسهم ورأيتهم يصدون وهم مستكبرون. سواء عليهم أستغفرت لهم أم لم تستغفر لهم لن يغفر الله لهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. هم الذين يقولون لا تنفقوا على من عند رسول الله حتى ينفضوا ولله خزائن السماوات والأرض ولكن المنافقين لا يفقهون. يقولون لئن رجعنا إلى المدينة ليخرجن الأعز منها الأذل ولله العزة ولرسوله وللمؤمنين ولكن المنافقين لا يعلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول ربي لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين. ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. محمد وآل محمد صلوات. هائے حسین کہہ کر آنسو بہا رہے ہیں جعفر کا جنازہ کاظم اٹھا رہے ہیں، جعفر کا جنازہ کاظم اٹھا رہے ہیں، تابوت کو اٹھا کر جتنے قدم برائے، ہر ایک قدم پہ ان کو سجاد یاد آئے، عابد کی بے بسی کا نوحہ سنا رہے ہیں، نکلا دہن سے باہر ہائے جگر جو کٹ کر خون رنگ ہو گیا تھا، مولا کا میرے بستر، منظر یہ اہل دل کے دل کو دکھا رہے ہیں، حیدر سے دشمنی ہے اب تک نہیں رکی ہے، مولا حسن سے لے کر جعفر تک آ گئی ہے، ہر ایک چراغ زہرا ظالم بجھا رہے ہیں، اولاد سیدہ میں ایسا ہے یہ جنازہ جس میں مدینے والے دینے کو آئے پرسا، اہل مدینہ سارے یہ غم منا رہے ہیں، جعفر کے ذہن میں بھی کاظم کا ہے جنازہ، میت اٹھانے والا وارث کوئی نہ ہوگا، زیر کفن بھی جعفر خون روتے جا رہے ہیں، سلمان اور میسم دیکھا یہ خواب اکثر بعد ظہور مولا مہدی بقی میں آ کر زہرا کا اور ان کا روزہ بنا رہے ہیں، جعفر کا جنازہ کاظم اٹھا رہے ہیں۔ محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد۔
ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد واللعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم أجمعين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجعلناهم أئمة يهدون بأمرنا وأوحينا إليهم فعل الخيرات وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وكانوا لنا عابدين آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد. My dear elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of us all, we send our condolences to the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Zaman, Ajjalallahu Farajahu al-Sharif, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And to the Muslim Ummah on the Shahadat anniversary of our sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. My dear elders, brothers and sisters, if we were to study the life of our sixth Imam and analyze, there are few facts that we come to know. Number one is, besides our 12th Imam, from the rest of the A'immah Tahirin alayhimus salam, Imam lived the longest, 65 years. And this period of 65 years was spent first 31 years under the guidance of his father, our fifth Imam. And then the next 34 years were that of his imamat, of his leadership. What can you say about a person about whom it is said, a person by the name of Hassan bin Ali Washah, who says that when I went to Masjid Kufa, I found 900 people mentioning that Ja'far bin Muhammad salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhima, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa told me whatever the hadith was, but this is how Hassan bin Ali Washah says. Masjid Kufa, you can imagine 900 people, and everyone talking about our sixth Imam, that this is what the sixth Imam said. Historical record shows that the number of people who studied under him and those who narrated from him is about or around 4,000 people. Now one can say that this is a great achievement. There is no doubt about that. But then when we look at the other part of the life of our sixth Imam, we find that he had many battles to face. And I'm not talking about battles with swords, but battles in the sense that the problems and the difficulties that came in front of the Imam. On one side, the atheists, because who got the freedom, would come and would spread their ideology, and Imam would have discussions with them. History books are full of the conversations that went on between the sixth Imam and the atheists. Then there were those people who opposed the Imam. Imam also had discussions with them, and you have, for example, a person like Abu Hanifa, who was asked by Mansur al-Dawaniqi to prepare 40 tough questions. And he prepared these 40 tough questions, and when Imam entered and Abu Hanifa started asking the questions, Imam's reply was that the people of Medina say so regarding this particular matter, and your opinion regarding this matter is so, and my opinion is on this matter so. Okay? And sometimes the people of Medina agreed, or their matters were equal to what the sixth Imam said, and sometimes whatever Abu Hanifa said, and Imam would say that this is okay. But you can understand that these were also kind of intellectual battles that Imam had to fight. And then there were those Christians who came with their agenda, and Imam had discussions with them, the Jews, and so many other intellectual battles that Imam had to face. I want to talk about a very important matter regarding one of the battles that Imam fought, but I need to give you an idea as to how tough was the time for our sixth Imam. Then came that political stance that Imam had to take. When Banu Abbas were progressing, or Banu Abbas started the movement, and there were those who were from the children of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and there were those who were from the children of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. All of them are Alawi, but there was a difference of opinion amongst them, and they were trying to force upon our sixth Imam to take a stand and to support. And Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam refused and made it very clear that this, what you are trying to fight, you are not going to succeed in this. Banu Abbas, that is the children of Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib, these family, these people will not give that power to you. And history has its own records, and it has shown that exactly what Imam said was that which happened. Now, when you look at any religion or any faith, there is growth and then there is expansion. Okay? We can say that during the time of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Mohamed wa there was, the religion of Islam was growing. There was opposition, a lot of opposition, but the Holy Prophet faced that opposition and slowly it grew. The result was, by the time the Holy Prophet passed away from this world, the Arabian Peninsula, the message of Islam had reached everywhere. So we could say that the message of Islam, the mission of the Holy Prophet had spread during the time when the Holy Prophet was there. But after the death of the Holy Prophet, it took a turn in such a way that on one hand it expanded, because it went up to Sham, and during the time of the third Khalifa it went up to North Africa, right? On one hand we can say that it expanded, but on the other hand we can also say that it regressed, in the sense that the teachings, the actual teachings, the true teachings of the Holy Prophet was being lost. And people were going away from the true teachings of Quran, the true teachings of the Holy Prophet. Now when we talk about the Shia faith, and I'm not going to talk into say as to when the Shia faith started, all of you will agree with me that the Shia faith started with the Holy Prophet. It was there during the time of the Holy Prophet, and that was the period of growth. But we come to the time when Imam Hussein salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Mohamed wa ali Mohamed, gave that great sacrifice, and there was a kind of anxiety, kind of fear into the hearts of the people. And many people had left, not only following the Ahlul Bayt, but had left Islam. And I'm not saying this. Sixth Imam himself says that between Mecca and Medina there were not more than 20 believers. After the time of martyrdom of our third Imam. And then slowly it started growing again. The seeds were sown by Imam Ali Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, and then Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, and of course during the time of our sixth Imam it expanded. And today, if the Ja'fari fiqh is recognized, it is recognized after the name of our sixth Imam. Okay? So this is how it expanded. But there was one matter in which Imam alayhi salam played a critical role, and his struggle was undisguised. In other words, it was not a hidden struggle, it was an open struggle. For it was a great danger to the teachings of the madhab of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And for that, Imam took a stand. And when you look at that, the stance that Imam took, it will ask us, it will invite us, it will require from us that we should reflect as to how dangerous this idea is. And the reason I have brought this up is that not that this thing died, it is still there. It is still there. This problem was not amongst the Muslims. This problem was not amongst the non-Muslims. The problem was amongst the followers, or who called themselves to be the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And this was what is called today as ghulat. Ghulat are those people who have set of ideas where they ascribed God's attributes to human beings. Sometimes giving the title of Astaghfirullah alayadu billah, God, and sometimes giving the title of one of the qualities of God to them. So example, Astaghfirullah alayadu billah, that Imam is Razzaq, he is the provider. That Imam is Ghaffar, he is the one who forgives. They had this idea. Now, we have to consider that amongst some people, there is this still idea of elevating the A'immah Tahirin alayhimus salam to the status of being, having, or what we say is associate, astaghfirullah al-iyadu billah, of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is pure shirk. Now look at the stand that was taken by Imam. I've just taken up few of the instances. Many instances are recorded in the history book. The first thing, the first strategy Imam used was that he warned the people against ghulat. He warned the people against ghulat. Right? Put it this way, that you have a son or you have a daughter who is in company of a person who is doing evil things. Right? Who is in a company of a person whose attitude and characters has great impact upon your son or daughter, and that is wrong attitude, that is wrong influence. What would you do? Right? I don't know about today's fathers, but people like us all, dhyan rakhe, right? Pointing fingers straight away. Stay away from here, stay away from there, putting all the Hitler rules in there. Okay. My dear elders, brothers and sisters, someone would call us doing this with our children, this fellow is merciless. Okay? But sometimes you have to be merciless, you have to be cruel in order to be kind. Look what Imam says. Imam, once a companion of Imam by the name of Mufaddal bin Mazid came in the presence of Imam, and the discussion was about ghulat. And Imam said, "O Mufaddal, do not socialize with the ghulat." Please remember, I said, these people are not non-Muslims. These are not Muslims. These are those people who claim themselves to be the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Imam says, do not socialize with them. Imam then said to them, do not eat or drink with them. Do not extend a hand in friendship towards them. and do not have cultural or academic exchange with them. See how far the warning goes on? Disassociate yourself. Right? Now Imam indirectly gives a reason, because Imam continues from there, and then he says to Mufaddal, protect your youth so that the ghulat do not corrupt them. That the ghulat do not corrupt them, for indeed, Imam says, the ghulat are the most evil creation of Allah. They lessen the glory of Allah and delegate lordship to the servants of Allah. Imam gives the reason. Not that creation of Allah is evil. Allah did not create anything evil. People themselves, those who become evil, they become evil creation. Imam makes it very clear that these are the people who have turned themselves away from the right thing. So the first thing Imam did was that Imam warned, do not socialize with them, protect your youth from them. The second thing Imam did was that, okay, ghulat have this ideology, there must be a reply to that. When they are saying like this, then you should be able to face them, you should be able to reply to them. And it is said that Sudair Sayrafi, one of the companions of Imam, went in the presence of our sixth Imam, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa he said, Ya Mawla, your followers, look at this word, your followers have fallen into disagreement and are persistent about it, or persistent about it. They fall into disagreement. This follower does not agree with this follower, and both are standing their grounds. Okay? They are persistent about it. And then Sudair says that following statements have been made by various groups. So though ghulat was one group known as ghulat, but each one had a different set of idea. Therefore Sudair said that various groups have made different things. Number one, he said, there is a group that says, whatever the Imam needs for guiding people is said in his ear. Listen to this, please. Is said in his ear. Yet there is a second group that says it is revealed to him. That is, wahi comes to him. We know that wahi stopped after the passing away of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alihi. Third group said it is said in his heart, that is, he gets ilham, inspiration. The fourth group says he sees it in his sleep. He sees it in his sleep. And the fifth group says he gives fatwas from written text passed down to him from his forefathers. Sudair presents 5 different ideas. The next question of Sudair was, which of this viewpoint is correct? Right? Do you as Imam see it in your sleep? Do you receive wahi? Which one of this is the correct viewpoint? And the reply of Imam was, none of them. None of them. And then Imam said, O Sudair, we are God's proof and his trustee upon his servants. We are hujjat of Allah and umana, trustee of his servants. And we say permissible and forbidden acts based on Allah's book. When we say that this is allowed, it is according to Allah's book. When we say this is not allowed, it is according to Allah's book. For we understand what is the meaning of the verses that were revealed and what is meant when Allah Azza wa Jal revealed that verse to the Holy Prophet. So it is nothing to do with special power, that something we get it in the sleep or someone comes and tells us, or it is whispered into our ear. No, everything is based according to Allah's book. Another one where Imam refutes a person by name of Isa Jurjani. He told the sixth Imam, should I say what I have heard from these people, that is the Ghulat? And Imam said, go ahead. Isa says, a group of them worship you instead of Allah. Astaghfirullah. A group of you worship you instead of Allah. And another group gives you attribution to the Prophet. If you refer to Surah Al-A'raf in the beginning verses, 7th surah in the beginning verses, where Allah Azza wa Jal explains about one scenario on the day of judgment. What does he say there? He says that Allah Azza wa Jal is going to question you. He is going to question you about the message that was brought by his messengers. And he is also going to question the messengers. He is also going to question the messengers. Now these people, Ghulat, giving all this high status to Imam. When Imam heard this from Isa Jurjani, it is mentioned that Imam cried so much that his face became wet with the tears coming out of his eyes. And this is what Imam says. This is the stand Imam is taking. Imam says, if God places them before me and I do not shed their blood, if God places them before me and I do not shed their blood, may God shed the blood of my children through my hands. A question running into your minds, even it ran into my mind. Such a hard stand taken by Imam? To say that I will shed their blood? Of course, Imam is not going to see any Ghulat and, Ya Allah, kill him. No. There will be hujjah, there will be message conveyed, and after that, if they still hold on with that stand, then, of course, Imam would take the stand. But why? I will answer that question, inshallah, when I come to the end of it, why it is dangerous. Okay? Now, the third stand taken by Imam, the first one, of course, warning, second one was refuting the ideology, the third one was declaring Ghulat as apostate, murtad. One of the well-known, I would say in English famous, opposite of is notorious, right? One of the notorious leader of Ghulat was known as Abul Khattab. I don't know whether he had relation, Abul Khattab. Okay? He was one of the leaders. Imam wrote a letter to him. He must have written a letter, or Imam must have asked questions or something like that. Imam wrote a letter to him. And he said, بلغني أنك تزعم أن الزنا رجل وأن الخمر رجل وأن الصلاة رجل وأن الصيام رجل وأن الفواحش رجل. Rajul means man. You know that, okay? Rajul means man. Imam says, it has reached to me, I have heard, I have come to know that you think adultery is a man. Adultery is a symbol. Man. Khamr, wine, alcohol is man. Prayer is man. Fasting is man. Evil acts are man. I've heard this. Now one of the things the Ghulat used, and there is a reason why they used this, we'll come to that reason. One of the things that they used was symbolism to express something. I remember that there are some Muslims today that Prophet has said you have to pray 5 times a day. So 5 times a day is not that you have to go into ruku and you have to go into sajda. Okay? It is, you do 5 times dua. That's enough. Right? And these are people who even go to their places of worship, like people wake up for Salatul Layl and pray Salatul Layl. They go there and they take out tasbih and they take out and whatever they do. Okay. People use symbolism. Was long time ago in Nairobi, there was one person. He said, what is this Jannah and Jahannam? Okay. Jannah this is just symbolism. It's just to say, it is in this world, when you have that peace and you have that tranquility, this is Jannah. People use symbolism to express things. Now these are the people who use this. What was the reply of Imam? Imam said, وَلَيْسَ كَمَا هُوَ تَقُولُ أَنَّا أَصْلُ الْحَقِّ. Now Imam is making it very clear to them, we are the root of truth. We, the Ahlul Bayt of the Holy Prophet, are the root of truth. وَفُرُوعُ الْحَقِّ طَاعَةُ اللَّهِ. And the branches of truth are obeying Allah. So the root is Iman, believing, furu is action. Obedience of Allah. وَعَدُوُّنَا أَصْلُ الشَّرِّ. And our enemy is the root of evil. وَفُرُوعُهُمُ الْفَوَاحِشِ. And its branches are evil acts. And then in another narration, Imam mentions and he says to these ghulat, Tubu ilallah. Repent towards God. فَإِنَّكُمْ فُسَّاقٌ كُفَّارٌ مُشْرِكٌ. These are the 3 titles Imam gives for you all are corrupt, apostates and polytheists. What is it that motivated these people to act like this? Historians have given many factors. Just 2 factors very quickly come towards Masa'ib. One is freedom from doing the religious acts, and that's where they use symbolism. Right? They did not want to perform those acts. Their belief was, I'm leaving out the hadith, I'm going to paraphrase the explanation. In the hadith it is said that they used to say that if you have believed in Imam, right? We have the hadith that says that whoever dies without recognizing the Imam of his time dies the death of an ignorant person or jahiliyyah. Here they used to say that if you believe in Imam and understood that you have ma'rifah of Imam, then you desire whatever you want to do. Belief in Imam is important. Desire then whatever you want to do. While Imam had told in the hadith that Imam said that once you have recognized and you have the wisdom of who the Imam is and what is Imamat, then you do good acts, little or more, for it will be accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal. Whether you do little or whether you do more, but because you have recognized the Imam of the time, then you have it will be accepted by Allah. So one was freedom, running away from the religious obligation. Second motivation was materialism and greed. And Imam himself has mentioned in one of the hadith where he says that I tell a person one hadith, one narration, I explain to him. Once he goes out, he interprets it in the way he wants it, not in the way I have explained to him. He interprets it in his own way and is able to then pull the people towards him and then fulfill his greed of materialism in this world. I am not going to go deep into, I will leave it off here. My crowd, my brothers, sisters, you are learned and you do understand and you do reflect on what Imam is trying to explain as to how dangerous it was and how dangerous it is when a person interprets the hadith according to the way he feels. Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. ازادار جب محرم کا مہینہ آتا تھا تو امام جعفر الصادق علیہ السلام اپنے جد کو یاد کرتے تھے اور تاریخ میں ملتا ہے کہ امام کسی نوحہ خان کو یا ذاکر کو بلاتے تھے. پہلی محرم سے 10 دن تک یہ سلسلہ رہتا تھا. اپنے گھر میں پردہ لگاتے تھے. بیویوں کو کہا جاتا تھا کہ ایک طرف بیٹھے اور مردوں کو دوسری طرف، اور پھر ذاکر کو کہا جاتا تھا کہ ہمارے جد کی مصیبت بیان کرو. عزادار امام روتے تھے، اور جیسے ہم کو ملتا ہے حدیث میں کہ امام نے لوگوں کو کہا کہ امام حسین علیہ السلام کے لیے روو، کبھی کہا کہ زور سے روو، اپنی آواز نکالو، اور کبھی کہا کہ اگر نہیں رو سکتے تو ایسی صورت بناؤ جیسے کہ آپ رو رہے ہیں. ہاں عزادارو، امام یہ رکھ گئے تھے. من لا يحضره الفقیہ میں یہ ملتا ہے کہ امام نے یہ بیان کیا تھا کہ میری وفات کے بعد، یعنی چھٹے امام نے بیان کیا تھا کہ میری وفات کے بعد 7 سال تک حج کے درمیان اور حج کی موسم میں مجھے یاد کیا جائے اور میری مصیبت پر رویا جائے. عزادارو، امام کو آخر میں تو زہر دیا گیا تھا، لیکن تاریخ کہتی ہے کہ منصور دوانقی نے کئی بار کوشش کی تھی. امام کو کوفہ بھی بلایا تھا اور اس کا مقصد یہ تھا کہ امام کو قتل کر ڈالے. مدینے میں بھی آیا، اس کی کوشش تھی کہ امام کو قتل کیا جائے، لیکن جب وہ کامیاب نہیں ہو سکا تو عزادارو اس نے حکم دیا کہ امام کو ایک خاص پانی بھیجا جائے جس میں زہر ڈالا گیا تھا. بس عزادارو، امام نے جب وہ پانی پیا ہے، لوگوں عزادارو، امام کئی دن تک تکلیف میں رہے. دن بدن امام کے جسم میں تکلیف بڑھتی گئی اور ایسا وقت بھی آیا کہ جب امام کو پتا چل گیا کہ اب بس ان قریب میری رحلت ہونے والی ہے، اپنی زوجہ حمیدہ کو بلایا اور کہا آؤ، اور جو بھی پڑوسی ہے، جو بھی ہمارے رشتہ دار ہیں ان کو بلاؤ. اور آخر میں امام نے ایک وصیت کی تھی، اور یہ وصیت تھی کہ ہماری شفاء ان کو نہیں ملے گی جو نماز کو سست سمجھتے ہیں، نماز کو خیر طریقے سے ادا نہیں کرتے. عزادارو، امام نے وصیت تو کر دی، لیکن وہ موقع آیا. امام موسیٰ کاظم بھی تھے، امام کے اور فرزند بھی تھے، امام کی شہادت ہو گئی. میں کہوں گا مولا آپ کی شہادت ہوئی، آپ کو غسل بھی دیا گیا، کفن بھی پہنایا گیا، اور پھر جنت البقیع میں دفن کیا گیا. ایک وقت تھا کہ جب آپ کی قبر پہ مزار تھا. ہاں ہم جانتے ہیں کہ یہ مزار کو توڑ دیا گیا تھا، یہ بڑی مصیبت تھی، لیکن تمہارے جد امام حسین علیہ السلام شہادت ہی ہوئی تھی، امام کا سر قلم کیا گیا. اور اتنا نہیں اکتفا کیا، ان دشمنوں نے امام کے جسم پر گولے دوڑا. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنقَلَبٍ يَنقَلِبُونَ إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ راجعون. ماتم حسین.
یا حسین یا حسین، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، 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 سجاد کو ضعیف صدائیں یہ کر گئی، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، لاشوں کو رسیوں میں جکر کے لیے پھرو، ہے لاشوں کو رسیوں میں جکر کے لیے پھرو، سیدان یا تو گئے سے نکلتے ہی مر گئے، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، جاتی تھی جو کبھی کبھی زہرا کی قبر پہ، ہے جاتی تھی جو کبھی کبھی زہرا کی قبر پہ، جانے خدا ہجوم سے کیسے گزر گئے، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئی، ظلم و ستم کی تیز ہوائیں تھی جب چلے، ظلم و ستم کی تیز ہوائیں تھے جب چلے سب گلشن بطول کی کلیاں بکھر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے رملائے پوچھتی تھی سکینہ سے قد میں ہے رملائے پوچھتی تھی سکینہ سے قد میں زخمی ہے کان بالیاں بی بی کدھر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے بازار لے کے جاؤ نا بے پیدا ظالموں ہے بازار لے کے جاؤ نا بے پیدا ظالموں مر جائے گی حسین کی بہنیں اگر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے ہائے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے سجاد کو ضعیف صدائیں یہ کر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے زہرا کی بیٹیوں کی ردائیں اتر گئے الفاتحہ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا محمد بن علي السلام عليك يا جعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك ورحمة الله وبركاته بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقاعدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد.
Ruhani Majlis announcement, Momineen. Today's Shahadat Majlis was sponsored by Bande Khuda for the Isale Sawab of Marum Ali Bhai Rajab Ali Pardhan, Marum Rajab Ali Bhai Sundarji Pardhan, Maruma Sherbanu Bhai Rajab Ali Pardhan, Maruma Kaniz Bhai Remtullah, Marumeens of Panjwani family, Marumeens of Pardhan family, and Kul Marumeen. The second Majlis has been sponsored by Al-Haj Muhammad Taqi Bhai Kareem and family for the Isale Sawab of Maruma Fatma Bhai Kareem and Kul Marumeen. Third Majlis was sponsored by Al-Haj Haider Bhai Ismail and family for the Isale Sawab of Marum Rajab Ali Bhai Hassan Ali, Marum Abdul Karim Bhai Hassan Ali, Maruma Sherbanu Bhai Marashi, Marumeen of Jewa Hashim family and Kul Marumeen. The fourth Majlis has been sponsored by Bande Khuda for the Isale Sawab of Bande Khuda's Marumeen and Kul Marumeen. And the fifth Majlis was sponsored by Sayyid Afzal Mehdi and family for the Isale Sawab of Marum Abbas Ali Ukhrawi, Marum Sayyid Fazal Hussain, Marum Sayyid Jamil Hussain, Maruma Rehana Bhai Parvez Naqvi and Kul Marumeen. All are humbly requested to recite Surah Fatiha for Kul Marumeen. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. حي على خير العمل. حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اجعل قلبي بارا وعيشي قارا ورزقي دارا واجعل لي عندك قبر رسولك صلى الله عليه وآله مستقرا وقرارا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم.